Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Green Room Podcast. I'm Matthew Brune, and joining me once again is Colin Mitchell, looking great. The bed is. Let me look at the bed behind you. Is it getting clean back there? You're
Yeah,
washing your
we're cleaning it
sheets.
up. We're cleaning it up.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's great. I'm
We need
glad
like
you
a bed update every podcast.
bed up.
Make it a whole segment.
Yeah. But yeah, it is dark outside, as y'all know, and it's only 5:30, which is really
Garbage.
depressing.
Absolute garbage.
The worst law, whatever rule, whatever it is, whoever made this deserves life in prison. There you go. I'm pretty sure it was like in the 1700s or something when they made it, but whatever it is, regardless of
Yeah.
whenever it was made, daylight
Let's see.
savings needs to go. Okay. So with that out of the way, Colin, we have a very serious podcast to do because North Texas plays UAB. They go to Birmingham, Alabama.
You
And
want
play
Benjamin
UAB.
Franklin to have life in prison? He
Yeah, I thought it
created
was
daily.
Ben Franklin. I wasn't gonna say anything.
I didn't know. I thought it was just gonna be some random dude. But I wasn't gonna interrupt you if it was just some random dude. But when it says Benjamin Franklin made daylight savings time, U.S. great
Look,
founding
I thought it was
father.
Ben. I wasn't sure, but
Wow.
I still, this is awful. It's awful.
Bruni confirmed red coat.
The
Okay.
first change
Anyways,
that I would make if I was president, people always talk about what they would do if they're president. This is what I would change if I was president right here. This.
daylight savings
This.
time.
This.
You wouldn't end world hunger.
Nope. Nope. Daylight. Need more
Okay.
daylight.
Okay.
Okay. With that out the way. UAB. All right. We both sat here after last week's game. We're like, all right, this is cool. If they beat UAB, yeah, I think if they just win one of the last two, I believe then they're in the conference championship game. But we want them to win this game against UAB. And then we were both surprised when we saw the line. We saw the
Yeah.
spread,
Yeah.
and it was UAB -6.
Yeah.
So UAB is almost a touchdown favorite against North Texas this week, and the line hasn't moved. I thought it would go down. It hasn't. The books are trusting in what they put out. There's very little faith that North Texas wins the game, as evident from it being a touchdown spread. And I have a lot of thoughts. So I'm trying to gather them and not be scatterbrained. UAB is clearly a good team. Or not, I don't want to say good team. They are clearly a capable team. I think that's the better word. Competent and capable, okay? If you look at their losses this year, they're 4-5 on the year. They've lost 3 straight. You look at their losses on the year. One is to Liberty by a touchdown, and Liberty is currently, just beat Arkansas pretty thoroughly, and actually I just watched that game this morning. And obviously they lost by a touchdown there at home. Okay, that's excusable. They beat Georgia Southern. That's a pretty good win. They lose to Rice by 4, which is by far their worst loss. Okay, losing to Rice on the road by 4, not a good result. But I think Rice is actually they're okay. They're okay this year. Beat Middle Tennessee badly. Beat Charlotte badly. Lost to Western Kentucky with Jacob Zeno at quarterback by 3 in a game that a lot of people said they should have won. Okay, so not a terrible loss on the road. Lose to Western Kentucky by 3. Then you go to Boca Raton, FAU, and this also is not a great loss. You lose to them by 7. So you're like, okay, not a good loss, whatever. Last week they played UTSA and went to double overtime and lost. Now they were down 14 in the fourth quarter. They come back, force overtime, lose in double overtime. Those are the 5 losses. Only the FAU and Rice ones are really, I think, ones you shake your head about. But even with that being the case, Colin, North Texas beat FAU convincingly.
Yeah.
Like, North Texas was right there with UTSA as well. North Texas beat Western Kentucky convincingly.
Yep.
I mean, if I'm looking at this game objectively, which I always do, UAB
Never biased.
We can look at this UAB team the way that we've looked at the North Texas team to a degree, in that they're just beating up on the bad teams.
Yep.
Except North Texas beat Western Kentucky, and UAB couldn't even do that.
And they beat FAU.
Yeah, and they beat FAU. So, look, I've placed my hard-earned money on North Texas already, +6. I didn't take the money line. I might take the money line at some point. I didn't throw a lot on there, but I
All these qualifiers.
I can't see how UAB is favored in this game. Go ahead. I want you to talk because then
I was gonna say the only way I could see that they're favored is that they lost these 3 games close against, I guess you would say, the better teams in Conference USA. And you guys can see the tweet that I posted with all the rankings from CBS's 131, explaining how bad Conference USA really is. But they had these 3 losses; they were all close losses, and the UTSA loss was close with their backup quarterback. I think that, I guess, could be where bettors are getting their, the -6 in favor of UAB. However, just like you, this team is underwhelming in my opinion. The Charlotte loss wasn't that convincing. You only win by 14 points against Charlotte. I mean, that's kind of garbage.
Charlotte win.
Yeah, Charlotte win. Oh, did I say loss? Sorry, I meant Charlotte win. So I mean, like, that's not even a convincing win in itself. And obviously I haven't watched any of these games, but it's hard to believe with North Texas on a roll and UAB not on a roll that North Texas isn't favored in this.
Now UAB is getting its quarterback back, Dylan Hopkins. That is worth noting. He has missed the past few games. Jacob Zeno has stepped in. Jacob Zeno is from San Antonio. Dylan Hopkins is back, so maybe that gives them a little bit of life there. They are a run-heavy team. They are amongst the best in the country in running the football, which is, could give North Texas problems. I'm not going to act like North Texas is bulletproof in that respect. But I think what we've seen from North Texas in the past few weeks is they are capable of playing at an extremely high level for periods of time. And I just don't think UAB is I don't think they're built that way. I think North Texas has a much higher ceiling than UAB coming into this game. Now, the one thing I do want to get into, which I said I have a bunch of scattered thoughts, so I'm sorry, but I think there might be a little concern of North Texas regressing to the mean, especially on the road, right? We've talked the past few years about North Texas on the road in games that maybe, it's not an easy game. We talked the last podcast about the Mason Fine game at UAB. I think it was 2018, we said.
Yep, and in Old Dominion that same year.
There have been examples of teams of North Texas past going on the road in games that they should win and faltering. Old Dominion, UAB, go down the list of teams. Maybe they're accounting for that a little bit more.
I mean, it's just hard to in my head. Now, as a person that's covered UNT all these years, I could see, if you look at this, and this, but from an outsider looking in, I just can't see how, if you look at this year, because UAB is not UAB of past. I mean, we just went through it, right? So, if we can talk, if let's do this. Who's your favorite, and by how many points? If you had to make a line,
I would have it close. I would have it as North Texas minus -2.
I was gonna say even,
something like that.
I was gonna go even.
That. It being on the road is obviously worth a few points.
Well, not only that, obviously, North Texas has destroyed the bad teams. We need to see them be good against a team on their level.
See, but since and this is where we've been giving North Texas a lot more credit, in that pretty much since the UNLV game, they've been really good in wins and losses, right? Memphis, Austin Aune throws the game away.
Yeah.
Right? Austin Aune throws the game away. Cool, whatever. They lose the game. It wasn't a good loss, but they at least showed themselves to be competent in that game. They weren't falling over themselves, besides Aune again. FAU looked good, won. La Tech looked good, won. UTSA looked good, almost won, but lost. So obviously we want to see them pull that out, but whatever. Western Kentucky looked good, won. FIU looked good, won. What am I missing?
That's a good point. I guess
am I missing?
I was biased just then.
What am I missing?
Sorry, fans.
Again, UNLV and SMU, we will hold that against this team for the rest of this season and until after the season as well, because at some point they got to start winning these games, right? You can't look bad against UNLV and SMU at some point. in your career. And again, that's an overarching thing. That's Seth Luttrell thing, whatever. But since then, we've raved about Seth Luttrell keeping the locker room together last year. I think he's done the same thing this year. An awesome guy in keeping locker rooms when they face adversity. And they've played well in what is that? 5 straight games, 6 straight games? Memphis, FAU, La Tech, UTSA, Western, FIU. That's 6 straight games. So I mean, I don't know. I think that they are. I think they're fine. I think they're capable of winning this game. I'll put it this way: if they lose, I will be disappointed.
Oh yeah, no, I mean I say even when I say even, it's more so an indictment on it being UAB one and then away, because UAB is always a tough matchup. But the away part, and obviously, hey, Western was away.
Yes.
UTSA was away.
Memphis.
Memphis away. So, it could just be recency bias over the last couple of years. Maybe. I mean, I just fell victim to that whenever I was like, well, they need to do this. Well, we've seen that up to this point now this season after UNLV, like you said. So, I mean, look, I guess this is that game where it's prove it to me that this isn't an anomaly, right? Prove it to me that the 40-13, the 52-14 over FIU, the 47-27 over La Tech, those are anomalies, and that you can continue to do this instead of playing a couple good games really well and then falling flat on your face. And so far, they've done that. Like you said, 6 games. We thought they've been playing good. But it's always in the back of our mind every single time we talk about this team after they have a good win. It's always, well, wait, we've been here before. What can they do to overcome this? And I think that if you win this game, it's going to prove a lot of people wrong. I mean, myself included. And it would do a world of difference if you also beat Rice at the same time.
Yes. And that's what we talked about. 8-4 is on the table right now. You can't let it fall through. I said it last podcast. I'll say it again. Because I actually listened to our last podcast. I listened to both of our podcasts from the past week. And I stand by it. 8-4 is a whole lot different from 7-5, in my opinion. In my opinion, we predicted this team to go 7-5 before the season. And so if they go 8-4, you are therefore exceeding our expectations. And that's a huge, huge step forward for Seth Luttrell in this program. So, I think they need to win this game. Pretty plain and simple. You've played well 6 straight games. Why not make it 7 straight games? They should not fall flat on their face. I think they are well coached. I think they have veteran leaders on this team. They should win this game. Now, UAB, again, good team. They just pushed UTSA double overtime. They have good results against Liberty, good results against Western Kentucky. They're a good team. If North Texas is what we think they can be, they should win this game.
Yes. I agree. I don't know what else we can say.
Am I setting myself up for failure? Am I setting?
No, I mean, I think it's weird saying that because we've been on this podcast, like you said, for years, talking about the disappointments of not only away games but against UAB when it mattered. What? I
mean, I was just going through all the road losses in my head. Remember when they lost to Charlotte on the Hail Mary? Remember when they lost to Rice and we were there? Like, you can go through moments of.
Well, that's the thing. It's always they hit the climax. Like, we think they're gonna hit the climax of the season. Like, this is gonna be it. All the doubters are gonna be proved wrong, and then they fall flat on their face. So this is almost that game, because when you think about it, when you go through, and sorry, I keep looking down a lot. It's because I have my stuff down here.
It's okay.
You go through their losses. It's after the Memphis loss. I don't think anyone had expectations, right? And this is a similar theme to last year. They did really well when there was no expectations on them.
Yes.
And I'm not sure if there's any correlation there, but anyways, we'll continue. So FAU, they beat FAU. FAU's not a great team, but they won. Woohoo! They still gave up 28 points. La Tech, awful team. And you and I, after the La Tech win, go, okay, well, let's see how they do against UTSA, because this is going to be the real test. UTSA, they had the game in their hands. They lose it. I'm obviously really disappointed. You were disappointed. Then we go to Western. We both think that Western's going to beat them. Yeah. I think we both predicted that.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So there's no expectation there. There's no expectation for them to win this game. They destroy them. FIU, it's FIU. Can't really do much. This is the first game this season where we're going into this game going, hey, North Texas, we're going to be disappointed if they lose this game. Because I don't think we wouldn't have been disappointed if they lost to Western after that UTSA loss. I mean, I wouldn't have been disappointed against UTSA if it didn't happen the way it happened. La Tech, There's no way they were going to lose that game. FAU, it was a toss up after
I'll
the
add
last two games.
I'll add a qualifier to that. This will be against a good team. This is the first time we expect them to win against a good team, I think, this year.
Well,
Right? Because we didn't
what I
expect
was
them to beat SMU. We did not expect them to beat Memphis. We didn't expect them to beat UTSA and Western. I think those are the 4 teams that they've played that
right.
are good.
Well,
Right?
I
And they've
mean in the
lost all of
sense
them.
where it's there's
Oh, I'm sorry,
there's
besides Western.
there's an expectation that they have to be good. Is what I mean. Like
Okay.
when you go into an FAU and La Tech after those 2 losses, there wasn't any expectation for them to win because we didn't think they were going to be good. After the UNLV loss, SMU, they get destroyed, and they Texas Southern still hangs 27 on them. I guess you could say maybe UTEP because you weren't really sure what UTEP was.
I think I figured out a better way to phrase this.
Yeah, change it.
I think I did. This is the first time they're going into a game where we're looking at the entire season and being like, "Oh, this could be a really good team."
Okay.
Because going into the UTSA game, going into the Western game, I was not looking at it that way. I was not looking at this team as potentially being a really good team.
Nor was I.
The Western Kentucky game flipped that. FIU game obviously upheld that. Now we're going to UAB as a 6-point dog and saying, all right, if this team is as good as we think they are, they win this game. We weren't saying that against UTSA. We weren't saying that against Western Kentucky. We were saying just, find a way to win, get your footing back.
Yeah.
This is
I
the
mean, I
game
had
where
Seth's head on a block up until UTSA.
exactly. It's
so.
like yeah. This now it's flipped. Now it's flipped to where you're not at this point. You're probably not fighting for your lives, right? Your bowl berth, your bowl bound, all this stuff. Now you prove to us how good you are.
Yep.
That's how I think we need to look at this. This game proves how good they are. And if, like I said, if they lose, I will be disappointed because I know UAB is a good team, but I think North Texas is better. That's bottom line. I think North Texas is better.
I agree. I think they're better too. And like just to reiterate everything, I mean, this is the game where if Seth loses it, it proves all of our doubts the last 4 years. But if he wins it, he can overcome that. And I don't mean that in like a mean way. Like it's like that's why I brought up the expectation thing. We thought after UTSA, we thought they were going to lose against Western. They probably could have lost against UAB and Rice. We weren't sure about because we weren't sure how good they were yet. Obviously, now it looks like it's going to be a pretty easy win. But last year when you have no expectations because you lose so many games, you do well. This year, UNLV, Memphis, and then whatever. There's no expectations, so you can kind of go in with a clear mind. Now you have some pressure. Yeah. And this is a different kind of pressure. It's not a pressure of like, oh, I'm going to lose my job or whatever he may or may not have felt. It's the pressure of, can you exceed? Can you overcome, that kind of elephant in the room that's always been here is I can't win a bowl game. I can't win a championship. And I can't win games that I should be winning. And
I think even, I don't even know that should be winning is, I think can't win games where you have the chance to capitalize on their opportunity.
Okay. Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. And I feel like that's kind of been the thing haunting Seth. And that was the reason mainly why after the UTSA game, despite them having 4 wins up to that point where I was like, okay, Seth needs to go because that was like that. Like you just said, it was the opportunity presented itself to win that game and you lost it still.
Yeah.
And that's the similar type of thing. So I mean, I think they'll win. I mean, I think they're a better team like you said. And I also think that they're way more talented through and through than UAB is. So
UAB always scares me, as you know. We know how scary UAB is.
Pick'ems.
All right. Let's pick. Let's do picks. All right, here's an interesting one. Okay. It's 2 of the better running teams in the country.
Yep.
Who has more rushing yards, North Texas or UAB? And I feel a lot of pressure now that we've put actual stakes on this to where for those who didn't
listen. Was it the hot chip, right? Yeah.
Yeah, for those who didn't listen, the loser of pick'ems on the season, I think this was going into the conference championship game or bowl game.
After was it
the bowl
game?
Preview?
Bowl preview, yeah.
Is where we're doing the chip. All right, so we have up till then. So what is that? 4 games until then for this pick'em. All right, let me write this down. UAB, more rush yards. I'm gonna go first since I'm losing.
Okay.
UAB has a starting quarterback back. North Texas is kind of relying on some big plays at receiver. Oscar Adaway's out. Who gets more rushing yards? I'm going to say UAB. What do you think?
I'm
kind of scared.
I'm scared too because they're pretty similar, like defensively and offensively.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say UAB as well.
Okay. Colin and Matthew both have UAB. All right. Do you have one?
Yeah. I'm gonna go points allowed. Okay, how many points does North Texas score? UAB only allows 21.3 points per game. Over under 27.5.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna say over.
All right, I'm gonna go under. I think it's 27.
Good prop. I don't know what the Vegas prop is for that, but it's
well, the over under according to ESPN, it says have them scoring 26.7.
Okay. All right. Next one. Over under interceptions in the game. Okay.
Total?
So both quarterbacks. Total interceptions.
Jesus. Okay. This is the wild card prop that Brune needs.
2.5.
Wait, what are you doing? Over under?
I'm going. Oh, geez. I'm really scared of Austin Audie in this situation.
I'm gonna go over.
He's the only way that North Texas loses this game, and I feel like they could lose it for him. I'm gonna go under. I'm gonna believe.
I actually think the opposite. I actually think Hopkins, from being his first game back, he might be a little rusty.
Yeah, it's a good point. All right, they're just both gonna have 3 interceptions. We're just gonna.
That'd be crazy. What an ugly game. All right, so I said over. You said what?
Yep.
We both said over. We both said the same thing for both.
I said under.
Oh, okay, good. All right.
Do you have one, or do you need?
Yeah, I'm trying to put a number on it. North Texas passing yards.
Oh God.
Over under 210.
Jesus.
UAB allows 185 a game.
Well, I said UAB would have more rushing yards. So therefore, I'm going to say over because I think North Texas will hit a couple big plays.
I also think they'll hit a couple big plays, but I think those are going to be the passing yards. I think it's going to go under.
All right.
Now we need our score prediction.
Score predictions. I'm hesitant to pick North Texas to win. I feel like they're going to let me down. I'm really scared.
How are you going to bet real money on them winning?
I didn't put money on them winning yet. I put them on +6. Okay.
Oh, okay. Whatever. And then we're gonna talk about how they're the better team, and then you're just gonna flip. That's crazy.
I'm picking North Texas to win 31-30.
Whew. All right, I'm going 27-24. North Texas.
All right. 10 stone. Good luck to you, Colin. Colin is up 2 currently in our Pick'em series.
Yeah, you better come back. You have to. You're running out of games.
Plenty of time. We got this one, Rice, and the conference championship game.
I can't wait to see you eating this chip on the stream.
You're gonna be eating the chip, Colin. All right, we're getting these right.
Remember, you only get one glass of milk.
We're getting these right. Nobody worry. I'm not.
I need somebody or on Twitter or wherever this is after Twitter dies. we need to have people like who's on my side, who's on Bernie's side, who's rooting for who. I feel like I'll be getting more of the flack just because I've hated on North Texas most of the season.
Yeah, you have. Nobody likes you.
But I just said that they'd win, and then you said that
I said they're gonna win. They win.
We both. Yeah, but you were like, I don't know if they'll win.
I'm scared, dude. I'm just whenever what happens when we have North Texas expectations at North Texas? They get crushed. Yeah, Lane Kiffin, okay, Old Dominion. Okay, like we get crushed. Bowl games, every bowl game ever, we get crushed. So that's all. That's all. I'm just scared. But again, that's why Seth Luttrell's here to be the savior.
Year 7.
Year 7 savior. Year 7 savior.
7 lucky 7.
There's the thumbnail. There you go. Make it. All right. That's all we have for y'all today. We hope y'all enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, to the YouTube channel. Leave us a like, comment, share, all that good stuff. Leave us a 5-star rating and review wherever you are listening. We greatly appreciate it. And yeah, we'll be back after the game to break it all down for y'all and completely not overreact to whatever we see. Always,
Man, that seems like you're foreshadowing that they're gonna lose.
Always.
Can you stop with this negative aura?
Always positive.
It's because he's sick, guys. That's why. It's because he's sick.
Always even keeled, and always delivering the facts. So there you go. All right.
I feel like anytime any news organization or talking head has to say we always state the facts, it means that they are not known for stating the facts.
It's not the facts. It's not the facts.
Green Room Podcast, not factual.
Not the facts. Only the facts. All right. That's all we got for y'all. We'll talk to y'all later. See you.